drove that whiskey down your throat while driving to make the quotes. This is where the vibe comes from. This is why the music is nope. Early Sunday bad coffee, fermented, but it has the alcohol on top of it. Sanitizes while making everything a topic. Hobble flop on a gaming mission, accomplishing electronic achievement. Need to get down on the knees and get the house clean. Gobble cooker, he's a look, a snap neck when he sees the hookup. What do you want for dinner? Plastic and sodium to cook up. 19, can't fucking read. 40 years old, barely a thing. The fourth branch of government, cover up the fact you fuck everything. Drama's tardy until all is lost by the tomahawk. No simple white by the common cloth. You common man, you get no bread. 421 on the late smoke, road up reprimanded, whatever, that's the strict rule follow. His body was his alarm clock, maybe a little bit too much of DMX Grand Champ. Inspiration going way out of hand. Halliburton, save us all, and let us get some of that passion.
Yo, pass the mic through the photo, black and white, into the gold lambent light. Romantic, right? The passage of stones through the black night, postponed as time, i.e. uncontrolled. No matter how below the belt you fight, below the velvet night. These so mellow vibes, his flow yellow light, a radiant energy, technical like Plato whenever he steps into the flow of the same raps twice. This laid back and bright Hegel on the mic, bendingly, twistingly, the end of rap history. Yo, the end of rap history.
The end of rap history. Check on your local druid, they're trying to de-tapestry. A tapestry of rhymes made out of dirty rags and picnic sheets. Slid onto the home plate and then I licked it clean. Arachnids out of the spout of the sink. Webbing today, plebeian pep, ebbing away. Let the leopard pepper spray the mic, might be like I'm never repping Trey. Hell alright, tend to speed up when I see a yellow light. Say a light surface, I am getting under your skin. Are you hip? Sold the farm and started watching Stardew clips. Argue with other fellow role players, now there's beef rap. Need to improve performance in defrag. Egad, your ghost rider is a GPT chat knee slap. Let's go outside and play some freeze tag. Rap hazardous as a clogged grease trap. The Leviathan creature attacks, reach in the back and pull out a stack of rap books like gadzooks. We're going to the top, we all got some grappling hooks. Get to the summit just to tumble back down, smashing into the black soot. Bones look like beach rack wood.
The jellyfish wobbly as televisual pornography in the early AM on the cable channels. An ancient man really as Ray Charles singing from the deep within in an English free of division, a joy divulture. They all point to my subtlest words of my fucking world. They like to feel lighter beside the black man, freestyle rapping. These isochromatic rhymes going gaga, so astonished, such stamina. Baruch at the gala with the scalpel and the lancet surgical. These plastic words so heavy, making the personal sexy again, bringing greatness back as Timberlake or lack, forsaking Christianity for the taste of black deeds. These grapes of rap he steals as surplus value. Yo, into the sterile heavenly. Yo, if you wanna get back into hell, make sure you're stamped on your hand before you ascend to heaven. In the fucking summer water, enjoy in paradise. Narrator, live person, the sterile world of freestyle perfectionistly. These priceless verses, yo. Yeah. Alright. Beef heart with the music as happy quarks in the nucleus as Pandora Park unleashing truths as Andrew embarks see-through threats. Your new emperor, yo, we need a cultural revolution rather than my bleeding mouth and nose. Alas, beaten to a pulp so tenderly bedridden as MTV to the television itself, so these truths to sexual health.
Yo, okay, that's the song. Alright, that's another track for the fucking album. Boring. The war on English. Stringing images as beats on a bracelet. Or Dreamcatcher. Pray for the sleepy rapper. As Neil Hamburger greeted with laughter. Who knew to squeeze these nipples? Seduced into a sleep beneath the ripples. Yawning. Grew through the telephone. His rocket through her pleasure dome. Insanity. Snored the husband. To the group wore the funk band. Dancing through his snores, a mumbling. A handy tip or two for the touching. His fingers, truths and fours and a thumb were thinking into the warmth of her comfort. Tickling as music or muttered words pinker than the blues or another green world. Kissing the boot as it crushed at him. Giggling beneath his leather lover's grin. Sipping the sweet red blood of a chicken from a beaker bubbly. Romantic as running from the man with the handgun tucked in his pants. Gambling with the one life he had. The rapper so unlike his dad with the silencer. Sometimes it's best not to be heard at the final audition. His head shot a blur.
Anybody wanna front, but don't talk too fast. Walk you out your whole damn state of mind, for Christ's sake. Oh, who's got time for this? It's Like the Rhymes by the Big Blue Ocean 420 Jive, Weapon Pie Promotion, recognition of the place you stand as we fraternize here on stolen land. Oh, what's gonna happen to the change you made? DDB, we got a world to save. Oh, Jesus, my nigga, what a price to pay as the press clips creep back from Ukraine. Killing this rat-faced dogged out war game, pulling it out just before she came under inescapable influence and lost her grounding of common sense. Cynical, cyclical capital spires, vanishing bloodlines drowned in the mire. Muck about tools off the party line, and all the devils walk when the sun don't shine. Can you feel me?
No.
For real, bro. Shit, you hear me? Do you feel me though? Can you see though? Shit me
So
yo.
crucial. Emptiness, the so great rapper, meth, weed, cocaine, and Nas's nose. With solemnity, the poet ate a taco, declaring his own fate implausible. Marijuana slang, his passcode, hairy parch, his language awkward. Realistic as the opening, Snapple, meaning as the dead in their hovel. These redolent of sex and passional as the recollections of Robert Lowell. Enormously their own plenteous Africa. Sorry to know these cops on
What do you do
patrol.
when there's nothing left but the same bad news and a microphone check? Stressed out pet shop girl, don't you got a manager? Yeah, I need a talking to. What do you do about all the lies out of friendly faces, familiar smiles? And what do you do about the crocodiles disappears when the cost of sauce goes up around New Year's Eve. It might take all night, better catch a nap before the big flight. Baggage carriers of microaggression, what are you doing in the age of oppression? Beg, steal, borrow, like, subscribe, follow what you post to the host tomorrow. Cats come off like they betrayed themselves, don't know their own clan name somehow. They swallow that shit like a dumb motherfucker. Open up the windows for the Ku Klux truckers. Wanna be some everybody else's song. Everything burns in Babylon.
Streets in the rain glitter, semen stains on the streets of Vancouver, needles and blades and graffiti to OD today, but leave a few screens astray as an oeuvre, priestly grey as the eulogist speaking on the days when you lived. These somber days were in mutants, sheets all wavy as the Ku Klux, wave hot flames on a few horses. They were almost the same as the real Slim Shady, literally Jay-Z from the perspective of infinity, uncontained by existence in the language of infants, raising their little voices. He sprays a literature Joyceangism joined with wisdom, as in Anglo-Saxon accentual alliteration, and in the Plato textual scribblings of a raving lunatic, his tune this strange music. Yo. Yo, microphone check. Yo. Yo. Remember Jeffrey Eugenides and getting a sexually transmitted disease and a trip to Planet X for free? Tripping on an LSD cryptic, these elementary lyrics, Watson, these hydrogen and helium thought balloons, stars and moon, Baruch using his mind thusly to tie your thoughts to me, as binding the robber to a tree, occupying you as ice occupies the streets. No, my talk was fiery Antifa, the psych ward explosion, our quarrel now in the open. His moral, a moral poem for all those chosen among us. Yo, the elect. Pretentiously erect, walking through Vancouver. Yo. Black with a huge afro, red and black on a green background, angelic dancing atop the CN Tower, atop the spike, a spiffy spectacle, this coffee spiked with fentanyl, song-like in its energy, it's not my cup of death, it's a novel by Eminem, that's not art, it's just rhyming, Martha opined. Baruch knows the climes my heart and soul reside in, the reincarnal desire in him, breathing harmony in time with me, my black labor, Lacan's lacunae, a pond in Vancouver, the splashy rain wherein the black blues men and the stallions' hooves a blur, dance through the world, traveling through the years. Andrew swigging a beer and freestyling as the evening combines with the morning in a shining orange light over the world as we rise and into sunlight, the little blue butterfly, dizzily of another mind. an insect of the skies. Image undeniable in the sunlight through my window. What a slight truth beside tonight's news so ancient. Rhymes like euthanasia. Two-mindedly the black one. Triangular passion. Behind the words rectangular, as Palestine to fascists, half alive to facts as we know them, baptized in mad villainy. The science of activism, higher than bats and pigeons, the crying doves of track 6. I'm a drug addict, idly standing behind the pub, flabbergasted by the construction of blackness. Why were we so mad at it? The rhymes were plastic, sliding its black strip and buying its canvas. Unmindful of Africa's existence, lines of slow language as the sky so Manitoban over Winnipeg, his frozen rivers gray. If I don't have a cold one, I'll go insane as Moses Bush aflame. Why not spend the Marvel budget on sci-fi tech for our uprising? Mark was rhyming here as the martyred high priestess, high off a weed legalized violence against real people. The sky's all greenly, the lime or the lizard climbing from here until the night on its little claws. Yo.
Music made of literal imagery. Two men hanged in Mississippi, using pain to build a city out of the names of those who were lynched here. He exhales a river fizzy, beer we taste in simplicity, as those apes locked up in the zoo. They'd follow Trump, so no boo-hoos. Would that some of these men were shot through their dumb heads, under the caps MAGA red, or hanged shot through the neck. Not that we want to see more blood, it's more that God is really love, not Nazis in the government. It's a motley colored text, this God we must in heaven visit, always with the metaphysics, talking us to death and perdition, falling thus to hell where the women live. The public deluded, unamused by real hip-hop music. These cut together shots from a few different movies. It's not one text, but two or three. Groovy, dear ones, glued to your mirror phones, mutineering thus through the tear gas, a clearing at last, moving the cedars with his weird rap. A pure spirit, the deep black fullness of sheep and their wool, of sheep and wolves, teeth in the skull, speaking these phonemes of easy poetry, a treatise on how to die, freer than the clown pilot, leaking down the sky like a cloud crying. Ooh. Music made of literal imagery. Two men hanged in Mississippi, using paint to build a city out of the names of those who were lynched here.
Broken as the windshield, the poet unscathed up the window, scrolling through Twitter as he bleeds, pulled from the wreckage free, unconcerned as the planet spins, so fucking recklessly, the curtains flapping, golden in the September breeze. Who's this darker dude, turning the lights on? Baruch on the microphone, turning the night on. The stars too bright to be forgotten, embodied lightning bottles via digital audio. Behind his nom de plume, with wine glasses and a bottle or two. I'm freestyling these lines, and I believe it's 9 midnight somewhere. Here it's 5 p.m. Freestyling as the wind chaotic is taking off his kicks, the gloves off his fingers, and wiggling his digits in the language of physics like English. These sound waves ticklish, the poem like a dick pic rigid. Yo, I'm a citizen of Winnipeg, in that I'm wintry-haired and Whitman-esque, Afrological, crumpling the logic in a ball and slam dunking the logic down as the basketballer. Wow, smashing the cop clown car. Alack, that's the sound of Baruch. That doesn't count as art. I mean, wasn't even made by robots. Sounds like a page torn from his own thoughts. A higher order of logic than your dinosaur fossil dicks. Yeah. Bluesman, swaying to the music as the trees in a forest of trees.
Always handle hands to get up there on rainy day dress shirt. Crying out curse words. This days it's worse than a metrosexual with a verse. This that even the bitch is curse. Or perhaps hers of gazing wave cremation. Great hearts versus cavernous. Spent my past pennies on my wine cabinet. Stranded from the city, lost in lane laminate. Couldn't call a cab, couldn't cough up travel costs. Guess I'm hoofing it. Honey, it's not funny, I'm out of money. Can't you help me, baby? On my knees, trying out. Please. Wait, bitch, I take these taxes. I'm a step to my dreams. I'ma be somebody independent. So I can't keep the man. So what? Couldn't care less. I can't call it quits to this drug warfare. Addictions, it's an unfortunate affair. Even my words will seem to leave. Not from there ain't necessarily worth all the hard work. Truth of today is used against you tomorrow. Working girls got good hustle, but they cannot trust their circle. Wish they wasn't watching their backs with all the sadist addicts and rapists. It's isolating, we get bored of the shame, but that's life our games. Remember one, first and foremost, look out for yourself. Be warned, it comes with a curse. Sleep alone, slur words with one's friends. Slowly assimilate yourself to the stranger's sincerity becomes somewhat simulated. Lonely lady, so you'll slum around with fake stuff. Startle yourself with their repugnance. Damn, do they ever be disgusting? These schmucks disgust me.
Yo, schmucks disgust me too. Trump touched your butt, me too. Lust disgust in Hebrew, it's scary Aramaic, Greek too. This David Byrne, who's fear of music, these shapeless words that steer the Buick, made the world weird to move in. Kanye, with the swastikas, couldn't talk this way, with his comical lisp through the wire, curse vomitus. His Reichstag fire, the lost kids, his divorce a fling in the phone booth. Our torchlight blinking the mobile phone you hold like a beacon the cold moon. So like a freak holding his lute, singing poetry over the beat. No time to think, just throwing things like baseballs pitched to the bat. Through space all pitch black, the earth blue-green all spinning in laughter as the Sufi infinite faster and faster. But it was all too normal as the clockwork orange eyes wide vacant. As the pie flies in your face, he devised the 5 pain pills. The rhyme style is Drake killed.
An old chip off an arc guys flop cooler. The guys who talk to late at night for talk shots smoother than the guys in our terror fashion flops. Passes some shots of water and a scalp massager in therapy for their issues with their father. They're dustier than airbags, not splitting ears, don't bother. Leave them at the altar. I eat dirt sinners for dinner, cinnamon in winter. Gonna rough you up back up. You say love to feel real tough, but their energy is not been honored. The spirit will be hushed. These hip-hop helpers, they gonna get crushed. Pushed to random at my bus, volcanic, erupt. Making excuse of rhymes in place to hate. Begging, rage, baiting, lanes in a state of waiting. You've been rather humble lately. Bought some George and a halter. A rough ice salt and a cool glass of water. Stay buff to prove tough, but their energy is not been honored. Blessings from a higher calling. Opens windows, air is really thick from inhalation. No circulation. Boys are just hesitating, wishy-washy, fickle little tricks. See me on the block, they best start running, bitch. Cinnamon so fish, so cunt and really rich. Always blunt muscle slick with the grips and her wit. It always hits, and the fits are always lit. Watch the sweat drip off her tits on the tranny dick. The panties fit, check out her hips, swerving past nitwit idiots. This bitch is really it, altruistic humanist. Walks a little bit faster than the baby 6.
Freestyling these flowers, leaning as 9/11 towers, really rhyming with the prowess beneath a style so madly disheveled, leaking from his mind a rap devilry, as Gene Kelly dancing in the streets with a black umbrella, free black and 71. These elastically bent puns, his blue, black and red pens. Relax, it's just death, reading yesteryear's messages from within the depths of the pyramid. Rhyme and meter, he mutters, using line to sleep under the truth. Divine ideas, the stuff of moonlight, a tie-dyed t-shirt fluttering through the night. My dear, it's nothing to be shy of eating your muffin with a tea in blue china. He's a Platonist, through and through, sliding the spacecraft through the night's vagina, dark like the mind of Marx. In German, proud the starlight stark, the words bound together like church-bound elders walking through the yard, the birds around yelling, yo, yo, yo. The poetry of those was so free as Socrates in his mind, all feathery, soft and green and flying over the evergreens, representations of the treest, most tree.
forbidding our citizens to read poetry. The Republic as those meaningless votes of the people. As Eno producing Devo, we hold these truths as equal, so black and white as Andrew reading a Socratic dialogue. The dragon demon holding back his fiery froth. My God, you're so right, Socrates. What a crucial observation now, so obvious to me. That there's a power in honesty. And knowing the math, that's the flower of thought, countless upon the wall of tapestry. But what of his maieutic philosophy? The screwdrivers, saws, and hammers, where through the mind thought in its own language. I think I'll have a sandwich in an English with no accents. In black letters. Lighting the canvas with the orange lighter, performing a slight verse on the Platonic ideas of Socrates and his friends. Dialectical conversation, rhyme flow as observations of the poet. Freestyle.
Yesterday I was walking through the glen when I saw Socrates and his friends talking about, let's try that again. Yesterday I was walking through the glen when, hooray, I saw Socrates and his friends. They were talking about mental states and contemplating heaven's gate from the logic of their non-levitating, somber, head-hanging, autumnal death awaiting gestation in the realm of representation. The forms are so crazy, warped as the portrait of a lady in Baruch, born in the 80s, dancing on these torn out pages of the chorus in Agamemnon, who've suffered into truth as horses neath equestrians. There's no moral in this expanse, the horizon red and black, more vibrant than death were these tracks, perhaps. More rhyming as the chef prepares his track for the crackheads. His metaphor black and savage, adept with the plastic phalloy. Android and Baruch dancing like a black boy in the park with his pals. Not yet alive to the facts of life's facticity, alive and factual, Plato textual as the signs we had to follow. Driving back to Vancouver with a mind full of Japanese humor. The haiku slack and loose as his shirt. Yo. Andrew Baruch, Plato Textual, the Neo-Socratic rap album. Theologically whack as Satanism, and yet so creative. His vision was like the burning bush in the Bible. Learning to push his libel and his vitriol in the mall. Yo, it can't happen here. The poetry wrapped over his beer as he openly cracks up and leers over his foamy glass. The close reader, no, it can't happen there either, where the air is sweeter than Nazi tears. Among the chocolate eaters, the thought behind these meaningless words, a project we researched. In coffee reimbursed by the boss for whom we work, i.e. God. The looming church platonic. Through the service sermonic, to what purpose? Talking circles round the volublous verses in sound images. Yo, signifiers, a chain of signifiers, in the rain amid the fire, or in the dirt writhing, as the worms of my images. Yo, in the rain falling, as he freestyles for Satan and all of the men who believe in God and creation. Even though Andrew Baruch was not an atheist. Yo, is weird stuff ordinary? Now a clearing in the corn base. Wow, this syrup we poured into the lake, or cheering up the forklift slaves with a boombox outspraying its bass, deepening the language till it quakes. The frequencies as paper stapled together in this office broken in raucous revolt. I'm the doctor holding a philosopher's stone, the hard-to-know darkness of a poem in Baruch wrote, in part because he was bored. The dark poem, a dark portent, harder to read than the blackness of the sky darkly bleeding from the vaginal night. Baruch, such a secret. Ask your wife why his art was on the street like a plastic pipe discardedly. The phallic vibe. These Martian beings, their big black eyes, tall and green-skinnedly, cracking wise as Hamlet with the white skull. As so many have fantasized, yo, these words read as Christ's in the Bible. Words I bled like sighs from my soul, the rusty blade rising over the struggle for space to define poetry. The horror of life is so intense, man. The sword, the knife, the poet's red pen, the horse's sighs, the whole plague of them. They wore their white robes against the wind dancing. The enemies of black existence, absurd in God's eyes, burning the cross tonight. These flames flickeringly doing the twist, as Drake to the music business, so the shape of his stupidest limerick. To the snakes how they moved through the thicket, inscrutably blended as the moods in your headspace or the foods on a chef's table. Yeah. All is one. I swear I don't got a gun. Karate monk, chopping through the month, dividing his agenda, environmental into sky and metaverse, up high and down to earth. His style was predicted verse, but with rhymes and unnecessary words for the meter. He served to the people a Parmenides, as stars reflected on the sea in Baruchian ecstasy. These Martian vessels sleek and silver through the welkin, keeping it together for us. A metaphor for love.
Looks like what's happening. Rational fascism, fatter inapplicable atavistic schisms, faster than anxious attacks waxed by Ativan. Plans contraband. Neurosis on my mind, unlike those kind life-saving smiles from a man. Stabbing Uncle Sam. Whack a cop in the back with a soup can. Catch Mark Carty like a rat in a trap. Give him a drug habit so his stomach is snatched. Now he's doing smack in my backyard. Every other night giving back shots in the shack.
Parmenides embark, let him speak, understand him as the letter C for Cameron, the MC, as Fanal canonical, empty as the galaxy of family, a lot of rocks though, candy for the nostrils, these raps we thought were ghosts, the way they stand staring, transparent, translucently the jellyfish, Baruchian and militant, as Black Panther or the Black Panthers, or Black Panthers giving back to black folks intact these manacles. J.D. Vance in the crack house entrapping these addicts thus, such a hard rapper. Not phallocentric, these vaginal letters, black feminism in a bad hat for men. As mad villain, these winking rainbows from a pink Plato, his thoughts. As Drake robotic, drinking scripture from a paper Coptic.
Yeah. Words like a hatchet. You're the tennis ball, I'm the racket. Fathom it. Awful men eating awful at dead babies. Pig cops in office frothing with the rabies. Gotta break the fate ratifying flatlining mind. Dick Cheney. If you catch a vibe, you can blame me. Hostetter. Body like wrought iron wrapped in hot leather. I know you're all God, but you think you're King Kong. From the Aga Khan, your name is a candle, my soul a moth. Your name is a treasury, my heart a ruin. To drink the wine of your name with desire, I must transform my heart and soul into a chalice. That's fine, you're the master, I'm the palace.
This ink dark servant, as Ingmar Bergman thinking sharp-wordedly, beneath the stars blurry in the dream and Baruch serves you, the reek of our perfume, in the ER hurriedly, triaged in the tourniquet asleep, awaiting Godot by the tree, the leaves all turning from green to a deep dark burgundy, bleeding out a verbal period, drinking all the bubbly beer and falling as Rick James southward with this same mocha. These pink hearts bursting as water balloons, gushingly awash in the jewels of love or communism. Free Gaza, free heroin, and not just for me, but for everyone. The fallen trees were as friends punished. This comedy I presented at the open mic as Stalin resentful of the poet's might, and tropic as golden light over the skyline. A notion we find in both yours and in my mind. That it is time to rise. Your cult orbiting this science as lies, as flies orbiting the line so biteable prize. The slyer poets rhyme thus, I don't know why, it's just the style I hold as my nuts. With the swagger of Friar Tuck, yo. I don't give a, angels close to him. Baraka, with the strangest poems, political though, his crystal clearer than Ashbury, I suppose. The mirror silverly lambent, oh, would that these tears were rational, would wherein the clearing had to go. Yo, the trees all had a vote, their conclusion, no more truth, no more truth. Crying at the rave and laughing, eyes redder than Plato's hands. Mind left of the cave of Canada. I get that it's late in the bacchanal, re-entering the cave and disappointing people. Canada's made up of oil and H2O. The black and the transparent. First Nations and Black Americans unite. Embarrassing the white subjectivity, structuring our lives under white history. The culture decided by Hitler in secrecy, and with input from white Jesus. These microphones bleeding freedom. The sound system built on a town indigenous. The brown children were found less innocent. It's work to found this little club, this academy adhering to the rule of geometry. The beer we brew a frothier freedom. Socrates drunk in the valley dialectical. Stung by a black bee, Plato textual. Sexually Aristotelian peripatetic. He's actually great at bed though. Plato textual, neo-Socratic. Spraying from his head all these broken fantasies. Black speech from the mangoes and passion fruit trees. Like Plato but radical and freer. Yo. Plato textual. Plato textual. We linger in Canada's dying sight. These figures dancing in the firelight. Drinking a glass of wine under lightning. Striking these signs of white rule. Yo. The dominant culture of pornography. Torn out of Mein Kampf and preached by Justin Timberlake to the public. So simpler than Plato's Republic. As Drake in the waters of Eunoia reshapes his approach to versification, playing with the words as Freud did, awakening us to their interpretation, the pun, as two birds in one maple. The double U's were what we would wake to the why we so love the good circle, where we know what would be worthwhile would be bogus in the next life, when we don't give to Palestine. Yeah, microphone check. Yeah, Andrew Baruch. Plato textual. Plato textual. Into Plato's academy with you and your Hegelian antinomies, too estranged from your family to be shamed for this foreign malady. So, like syphilis, the poet like a critic incisive, into this fruit he biteth. The novel whiter than tennis, or fighting a meth addiction, writing against the window. These light waves impenetrable, quantum in nature, sovereign as the nation of Baruch. Plato, who are you and why? As stars behind the blue sky or sharks do you hide? Yo, I've Never struggle to think of what to rhyme next for more than a minute. It's usually 5 seconds. And I think up a sly non sequitur in the time it takes to say a word. I'm back in the same predicament, but the language game's infinite. It's strange to say, but this is literature, as Jay-Z and Biggie were, though maybe more introverted, the forms beneath the surface. The sorrows within Werther, the poor little kid searching for his person, was written by Goethe, scribbled in German. In the middle of a word it hit me, the symbols were riverine. Dripping over everything, the river of crystal dreams. Picture the glittery jewels. Literally true emeralds and rubies. Very groovy, his peace sign, red, green, and blue leaves shining. Marlowe remembering the heart of darkness. In the dark with the darkies, the jungle gathered around as hundreds of small black clouds raining on Whitey's parade, such gaiety unmade in the rain we bleed. Breaking his language to pieces and making of the fragments this Egypt, as the cheap trick power chord in leisure sounding board, seizing power and forming a secret band in the forest. We've sacrificed way more men than Alexander the Great or Napoleon. Christ, there's still more instrumental to rhyme over in the weather beside a storm growing, as the violent roar of a Roman fighting for his own reputation. But yo, that's biology, the poem of black life laundering. The DNA inside him hollering, yo, read these rays of light watery, way too bright it bothers you, as Drake might always do, intolerably groovy. Yo, Andrew and Baruch, Plato textual, the neo-Socratic rap album. Black as Malcolm X, but somewhat less radical in his text. Though not radical, surely. Though somewhat closer than is comfortable to purity. Yo, Plato textual. Plato textual. Plato textual. The neo-Socratic rap album. The Plato textual rap album. Hateful, vengeful as Hamlet. Lovingly, friendfully passionate. Under the moon with his crack pipe. Free Palestine. Something to do or rather to have done right. Trash despite the rapid hype as Kanye's flashing lights. The lake as glass or ice. The Plato text placid tonight. Yo. The Plato text as glass or ice. The Plato text, oh Andrew, you rap so nice. Oh, rapping so Christ-like, so appropriate to the zeitgeist. This genre he writes in as the novel or some other form
like, I don't know, a sonnet? I don't know, villanelle? Okay, the track, Plato's Academy. Another track, another Plato text.
Okay, the first thing that needs to be said is his speech is not for simpletons. Go read a novel by Hemingway then, or freak out with Frank Zappa dumbstruck by the way Andrew mumbled stuff, chased by the world owners through a space-time wormhole. Vroom, the spaceship's diurnal crew, insane by year 02, plagued by fears of a police overview. The AI tweets what it's supposed to. The machine spitting soul food, the 3D printer robot chef, immediately going off script here. I dedicate this rap to the fly I accidentally swatted dead while recording the bass on this track. It died on my flashy laptop screen. This dedication brought it back. Forgotten never as podcasts. From the aughts to the 20s or mumble rap. From the 1930s, pound and then resounding the memory. The sound of the planetudinous sea held together through the tears of sweat and speech and urine of the fish who sleep beneath moon and sun, indifferent to the government's indifference, struggling through the system as sharks, whales, and other immigrants. Yo. Draw bondsmen in soft watercolors, the broth and Garamond letters, red compositor, a vase of roses, draw me a Roman bath, no, not like that. His speech a symbolic act, the real whip across my back, these images talk back. Yeah.
Bent in his mind toward a floating treasure island, awakening as Rip Van Winkle to the negatives, black windows in a dark room, Baruch using a harpoon as Ishmael, till the sharks moving in his wake, slippery snake, infinite, his phallic play as it hath been sundry times acted, in the countryside, grassy green intimate, his monkey mind African, 100 times advanced as tech from some sci-fi planet X, kind of rapping, in a style more radical than in times of happiness, and the tinier MAGA movement, the wine glass, shining in Andrew's hand. It didn't take a Sherlock. These intimations were obvious. His way with words of sophistry built on the stage is the birth of tragedy. From the spirit of music. Perhaps we must hear the song confusedly first, the new verse, and then do the work. To prove the search useful through the universe for breathing nerds. Do you have science and religion as I? Do you speak Chinese enough to get by on a high beam over a destruction in sight. These smiling people eating their lunch so high, greener than some prose stylist struggling in the fire of thought because of my blue comedy. My huge Dantean trilogy, Inferno, Purgatorio, and then a third more forgettable. What was it? Paradiso. That's the third volume of my Divine Comedy. Hip-hop music. Real hip-hop music. Real Canadian, African, Canadian hip-hop for post-Canadian, anti-Canadian. Microphone check. Andrew Bark. Essays of Montaigne. Renegade slaves plotting against the reddest states of Caucasian angst. Better than Drake, but not as famous. Yes. Thank God for Satanism, meditating on the shapes in the demiurge's mind. The pleasure in rhymes all agreeing. Ideologically against a sky of falling secrets in these white balls of evil demonry. The gravid blizzard of hailstones, these grand wizards and dragons, grandchildren of Ahab, Madlib, Freddie Gibbs, cocaine pinata. So nakedly the madman rapping his pastel fragment screen, the gold frame holding in the sapid fragments planned beneath Jay-Z's so amazing eidetic memory, knowing the names of 99 enemies, mostly male. Yo, what the fuck's going on in Baruch's soul was what who wanted to know? No one? The poetry's structure as a few oak trees under the blue, lonely oneness obtuse with the subtlety of Q-tip. Bloody with the blues business, opening the blues up. Some of that bruised blood, so crucial cousin, versus the new minstrelsy of cool runnings. Although were my Englishisms my bobsled or a communism pinkly soft and wet, thinking thought against speech. As I breathe out a long exhalation, meaningless to those illiterate, unserious, with a digital genius ripped from Wikipedia. Yo, pimp my genie bottle. The blues man cracking up, aloof on his laughing gas, as the balloonist or the astronaut. Shakespearean to your Samuel Johnson. Yo, what's your fucking problem? You just don't fucking get it, man. I'm kind of the most crucial among the MCs. Human to study them MCs of before times. Before times as your crimes were forgotten. So citrus.
forgotten nearly as Robert Greeley Pacific. The kind of act of giving oneself to the immoral proposition. Robert Greeley's wisdom. And Robin Blazer. What of him, the poem by the Charles River? It is their way to find the surface. Air raids and ice raids, worthlessly. The curtains in the breeze. Herbivorous as the trees he munches. For he is a luncheoner, luncheoning on the luncheon of the brunchin, of the munchkin. Something else. Some more rhymes here as well. And Saint-Genet, going crazy. Saint-Genet by Jean-Paul Sartre. Flipping through the book and seeing that Genet is driven from nature, driven from society. This homunculus who is a byproduct of social chemistry, who spends his life all alone in the presence of all, never felt natural. He dwells, of course, in the midst of the realm of animals, dwelling as the cannibal. Inflammable verses, standing in the world amid all these strange persons. The blues man cracking up, humorous as Vancouver, blackening in the dusk. That's enough. Walking through the fog swamp, a cozy home with the companionship of people, or in isolation, incredible beauty anywhere they choose to look. I have become John Cage. Esther, what's wrong? We were getting along. Penguins drawn deathward, wobbling to his electric guitar strings and very hard drums, controlled by the horoscope. The poet was a Scorpio, divorced in form from his ghost, as the coroner notes. His corpse so cold foremost, a portal into the soul, a window on my purpose, the drip drop of verses from his faucet fervent, to your tossing and turning, frolic with uncertainty, as crossing the purple stream, burbling lethe. Water world in 3D. These songs were the meaning of me. As cocaine DeFroy with the Polaroid camera, holding and pointing his consciousness at Andrew, who holds a joint to his soft lips and inhales the cannabis. Oh, yeah. That's some potent cannabis, yo. As Freud, his loco-analyst, so coldly distracted by the poetry of Andrew Pollard, so dispassionate, so fucking soulless, so evil, no warmth.